Hey, good morning. Welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. A little earlier than normal here today, but I got stuff I got to do. And I wasn't sure I was actually going to do a show today about teaming, but reflecting on the Phillies loss, it's got upside down Phillies hat, upside down because the game lost game 7 last night. And it's kind of depressing, to be honest with you. I was supposed to bake a cake for the team, and I didn't have the energy to bake a cake. I felt bad. But anyway, as so Livy, you may be able to do a cake next time when there's not a Phillies loss and kicked out of the World Series. But it's a clear demonstration. I thought about it last night, and they got out coached. But it was a clear demonstration of the flaw behind having a superstar or superstars carry the team through when they really need it for the big show, the proposal, the projects, whatever that needs to be brought through the team to deliver for the company. So last night was a textbook example of that flaw when depending on superstars. And I'll talk about that. And they're not the only team that does it. And I've had many teams over time that had these quote superstars that ran everything and everything went through them. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to keep it short because I do got to get out of here. So let's get into it. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way. So we can bring value to our customers, not work so crazy hours for that value, and get home at a decent time and effort so we can watch the team lose. It's so sad. Anyway, oh, by the way, I did put out a post last night and put it in LinkedIn and a couple of them. If you do sign up for the mailing list, you will get free access to the Slack channel, which I was thinking about $10. But I'd rather talk to people and develop a way for people in their career paths or have questions to get answers that isn't in LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn's nice, but it's a very broad base and you don't know who's going to get it. And the way I had the Slack chat up, there's people in there. They're going to get it, or at least I will. So feel free to sign up for the mailing list, get free access to our Slack channel. If you do so, it doesn't cost you any money. It's like free knowledge and free sharing. To me, it's a no-brainer. Anyway, talking about last night. So the Philly strategy was to hire some big-time superstars. You got Bryce Harper, you got Schwarber. People are really good at what they do, and they got a lot of good, and they got Turner in there. He's really good too. The philosophy, the coaching that happened last night, and I saw it in the first inning, and I kind of had a hint of it the game before, game 6 of this championship series. The coach on the other side said, we're going to walk Schwarber, we're going to pitch to Turner, and then we're going to walk Harper, and then we're going to see if the rest of the team can beat us. And I saw it last night, and I go, oh, my God, you just got out-coached. Because if you walk Schwarber and you can get Turner out and you walk Harper, you just need 2 more outs for people that aren't the superstars, that have been inconsistent through the whole season. But I'll be honest, the superstars have been inconsistent too. And maybe you pitch around where the superstars get so frustrated, they swing and get a strikeout. So it's a double win. And I thought about it, and they took the superstars out of the game. That was the coach's strategy for the other team. And he did a good job because he shut down the Phillies 2 home games in a row, right? That hasn't really happened, but he did. But that also applies to teams. So many times I see in teams, and I've had this multiple teams, where they would have a superstar or a manager or someone who would control the world, tell everybody what to do, knew everything, or you depend upon them to do everything to pull your, out of the fire. And the problem is they get burnt out, or if they get pulled out. So let's say you had a superstar on your team and you had to pull them out because you had a major bug that was killing the system. Well, then you don't have, is your rest of your team up to par to build the product that you need to be delivered? Question, right? Or you just killed your team because you pulled your superstar out. Or let's say you got a major product or a major project coming on and you got to put your superstar on it. Nobody else knows how the product is built nor understanding it because the superstar did it all themselves. And now if there's a bug in the system, the only person can work is a superstar. Now the superstar is out of a future project, right? And this ain't the only place I see it. I had one superstar at one company said to me how he was so proud he wasn't doing agile and he wasn't doing this. So I turned around to him and says, not only you're not doing agile, you're not doing any planning. Your project's behind schedule. You're $10 million over budget. You're 6 months behind, and you're not delivering anything. So I turned around. Please don't goat to me that you're so proud of yourself that you weren't doing agile because you're the superstar and you're telling everybody what to do, because your whole project is totally squat, right? Personally, I would have fired the guy. If you lose me $10 million over budget, behind schedule, not delivering, and you're going to claim that you're managing the whole thing, I said, well, you're going to go down with the ship, right? And I also, what I saw on the team is that no one wanted to make a move on that team without that superstar approving what they were doing. Therefore, they slowed down. And this is why they were 6 months behind schedule, because they're waiting for the superstar to tell them what to do or to approve what they did. Because if they did it wrong, the superstar would come down and pound on them, say, well, that was stupid, right? I'm like, dude, you have to stop doing this. You have to think about it and what you're saying, because you are shutting them down. The same goes to people that dictate. Like I was listening to the Scrum Master Toolbox, and they were talking about product owners. They talk about product owners on certain days and how some of them would dictate everything that goes along. And it got to the point where the team didn't do anything without the product owner saying it, because it was easier. It was easier to cop out to say, well, why should I do something? If I do it wrong, or I don't do it, or if I do something the product owner doesn't want, he's just going to yell at me. That's that superstar mentality. Or they're waiting for backlog items, right? Well, I don't know what to do. We're the next thing on the backlog. I have to wait. Listen to what I said. Wait for my superstar boss to hand me my work, or whoever's in charge, or the Scrum Master, or the product owner. It should be all on the backlog so they can just pick and do it. And they shouldn't be, well, I don't know if I should do that because I'm not the superstar, right? So they start hesitating. So this is the flaw behind the superstar mentality for building teams. And the game last night just emphasized that flaw. You take out the superstars, the team has to be able to function on their own and produce at a superstar level to go to the next level to produce that good product. If they're not ready, you're done, right? And I'm not going to just pick on Phillies. I can look at Aaron Judge, who is an awesome baseball player for the Yankees, right? Yankees didn't do squat, right? I would love to have Aaron Judge. He's awesome, but his team just wasn't there, right? The rest of the team wasn't up there. I'd call it the leading. I used to say leading by example. If I was too far ahead of my team, my whole team in general, I couldn't go that far. I couldn't progress. And what I did is I shared to the rest of the team. But that's another story. We could talk about that another day. But I just want to share that as the flaw behind the superstar was emphasized. I want to write a little paper on this with the Phillies game last night. They took out their two superstars, then the rest of the team just floundered. They couldn't produce. They weren't there because they were all looking to the superstar to pull them through, right? And if the superstar didn't pull them through, they were done. And that's what happened last night on Game 7 of the championship series for the Phillies. And I would say Game 6 too, because they lost that 2 home games in a row. And they could say that the fans weren't there. The fans were there. It was the rest of the team wasn't there, right? They had the superstars, pull them out, done. So I want to share that as an example. I'll write up a paper and share it with everyone, a little more nuanced and more examples, so that people can share that with their management, just people in their organizations, to say, the superstar thing where we all depend on the one person to solve all the problems, one, it's going to burn them out. They're not going to be happy. They're going to be grumpy. It's just not going to make everyone well. So I wanted to share that with you as an example that you can use if you have that superstar mentality on your team or your organization, where you can use an example this is kind of what could happen, right? I'm not saying it would, but could, right? I mean, they could have done it. They could have won. The rest of the team could have came up and did great, but they didn't. So with that, I want to wish you all the best. A happy scrumming. I wasn't sure if I was going to do today, show, but it is what it is. So don't forget, sign up for the mailing list and you get free access to the Slack channel. So when you go in, you sign up right on the front page of the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum website, the blog post. There's a couple links in there. There's a little side thing. There's multiple ways to do it. I put some posts up. Once you get in there and you sign, and it thanks you at the bottom of it, it says, if you would like to sign up for the Slack channel, then you add your last name and your LinkedIn profile, because I use that to communicate as well, to make sure everything's going well. So you get a little individual coaching from me as well, part of the channel. I wish you the best. Happy scrumming. See you tomorrow. I got an interesting one for tomorrow. Bye.